Having trouble in your love life? I have the answers. It's called Secrets of Birthdays, the Love and Lust Report. The biggest problem usually is people choose the wrong person. Not anymore. Find out your birthday secrets, available online at secretsofbirthdays.com. Hello, Lunar Child, and welcome back to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Update from my webcam to yours. I'm Witecki, your host to the universe. And I'd also like to invite you down to soulmart.me, where we have some brand new talent available, namely Carolyn Nagel. Our moon goddess is now doing monthly reports on your planet, the moon. That's right. So you can now get a monthly forecast available for immediate download as of Wednesday on your moon sign for the next month. And she goes over the hard emotional tides, the low emotional tides, conflicts, fears, the whole 9 yards. She's been working on this forever. She's been studying with Soul Garden forever. Check it out. I want to know what the Cancers think the most, because that is the real test. Plus, if you need to boot start or jump start your creativity, how about Nikki Bright? She's going to do a seminar. This is a 90-minute seminar. She's going to do it twice this month. You can find out more at soulmart.me, but it helps you step into your creativity and reignite your fire. She's really good at what she does. It's 90 minutes, so it's in, out, and you are happy. So check her out, check out your moon reports, and let me know what you think. Well, the sun is in Virgo, and you probably know this means that you're in your head. That's what we're talking about. When the sun is in Virgo, things are most real. And strangely enough, for the rulers of emotion, what's even more real than emotion for you is your mind. That's how Cancers can get trapped in their mind. Now, I think you have an anal retentive mind so that you can be very specific about describing your emotions, but you're not meant to be trapped in your mind. So this month, as we are working on Virgo and as you are a Cancer, you are working on your intellectual state of awareness. That is ideas, how you think, and your overall high-minded attitude, or your poetry, where you put your mind in the highest form. Now, last week we started with the live state of it. How do you live in your mind moment to moment? Are you always on trial? Are you always depressed? Are you always panicking? How do you live in the moment? We've now moved to the love stage, where you communicate, express, put ideas together, and create communication and idea exchange. You also take command of your own inner Congress in the love state of your mind. This is the part of your mind that makes the decisions. It's the part of your mind that compares the two. It is the part of your mind that is the functional part of our mind as we know it. So we are moving into your thinking and the way you think and what happens when you think, which for Cancer pretty much creates what is most real, what feels most real, and it's where you're most detailed. It's Virgo consciousness. All right, hope we have that down correctly. So we come back from a vacation on Tuesday. Jupiter rules the day, and the moon is in Taurus. So the Cancers are feeling grounded, social, and maybe a little adventuristic. It is time to explore. When Jupiter rules the day, you want to explore your options. So this might be a day where you're super social, super chatty, exploring your neighborhood, exploring an idea, getting on the phone, chatting for a while. But there's so much more going on underneath that on top of it. The moon in Taurus is just the tip of the iceberg. First of all, it's in a grand trine. So your home planet, the moon, in Taurus, focusing on social life, unites the light in your soul, or unites 3 states of awareness in your soul into one super awareness. And this allows you to draw some big conclusions. What are the 3 parts? Well, on the one hand, it's your how you feel you belong in society or not. It's also your marriages and where they are so far, and the way you approach relationships. And it's the sun in Virgo, which is the way you think. So it's how you think, how you feel you belong, and who you marry. Who you marry, how you think, who you feel you belong, or where you feel you belong. These 3 come together and you get a grand epiphany. But there's actually more that day, a yod, pointing to Uranus and Aries. And what this says is it says to take your conclusions from the soul pyramid and draw them into Uranus and Aries. At the tips of this yod is Mars in Scorpio, and again the sun in Virgo. Mars in Scorpio says it is time for Cancers to draw some lines and start heading for joy and happiness. That you are carving out space for your joy now. And Mars is basically a machete. So you are carving out space in your inner child to have joy. That's one part of your life. Then the Sun in Virgo is you trying to get your mind in order and on your team. And you take these two parts of yourself and they go into Uranus and Aries, which says it therefore changes what you decide and how you decide things. So how you decide is going to be changing. You used to make your decisions based on the family, or based on the job, or based on the pinto, or based on the husband, or based on the boyfriend, or based on the lawn boy. But now you're going to make decisions based on other things. And part of your basis is what your inner child is saying, and part of your basis is your new mindset or your new way of thinking. So it's a very complicated day on Tuesday, as all these parts of us are coming together, and in essence, it's getting Cancers to expand their mind. I mean, that's the biggest. Sun ruled by Jupiter in Virgo, you're really here to expand your mind no matter what happens, at minimum. Then Wednesday, things get a little hectic. Uranus rules the day, so there's breakdown on Wednesday. So you might have a little bit of a mental breakdown or a mind game, or fall prey to your old mind games, or fall prey to your old argument with your honey, or fall prey to your old argument with yourself. Cloudy chance of conflicts. It could very well be putting your reputation at stake, or a friendship at stake, or something in society at stake, by the way it's kind of wired. But I really think this Yod, which started yesterday, comes to a head on this day, okay? And the Yod is pointing toward Uranus, which means innovate the way you make decisions. So if something goes wrong in your mind and you have a mind game, which is what the Sun will break down with ruled Uranus, that breakdown really turns into a forced breakdown of how you make decisions. And by the way, how you make decisions, which is Uranus, leads to career and legacy. You're in the very beginning stages at 7 degrees retrograde. So we're just looking at changing the way you make decisions. But this leads to a whole change in wherever you go or grow. So powerful time in wrapping that up on Wednesday. On Thursday, Mercury rules the day, so we are breaking through. And this is really for you probably the day that you do break through. So your mind breaks through, you figure out how it is you went down that mind game, or how you found that old argument, or maybe even not even falling into the old, but trying to get the new, trying to write the script, trying to write something, and something fell apart. But Thursday, you get clear on what that is. The moon is still in Taurus and wraps up and moves into Gemini, so I think you're very cloudy, and I think you're rather detached on this particular day. Now, the planets, the only thing worth noting is that Venus, which is how we receive, moves into Leo, which means that starting after Thursday, Cancers begin to receive all the work, receive benefit from the work they did when the Sun was in Leo. So this is receiving what you're worth. This is maybe receiving money. This is receiving materials to manifest. This is receiving some of your manifestation in. So even though you're breaking through and trying to have a peace of mind, you actually got some presents coming, which is the receiving of what you love. So just stay focused on love in the moment. Then comes Friday. Now Friday is going to be a pretty groovy day. You are at least at peace. That's how I'm predicting it. For one, Venus rules the day, so the universe is trying to restore balance and order after all the learning, and in your case, balance and order or peace of mind. Or if you were caught in an argument or caught in an essay that you couldn't rewrite, you find peace with that. So you find peace with the immediate intellectual struggles that were going on in the week. The moon, your home planet, moves into Gemini, which pulls emotions into your subconscious and sets up a pretty powerful transformation for Friday. Let me show you. On the one hand, the moon will cross over Jupiter. Now, Jupiter over the summer moved into the subconscious of Cancers and started stretching them, making them have greater faith in themselves, which means you had to also face your boogeyman and any of your crazy fears. So you've been facing fears and, kicking ass and taking names all this time. But now, on this day, Friday, I think you're going to feel the effort of your work. So you start to feel confident. You start to feel this faith. Now, that is the beginning of a new Yod, which just happens to happen at the conjunction, a new Yod that now points back to the Mars. Remember, it was just 2 days ago that we were yachting into Uranus, and the universe was saying, hey, Cancer, you're going to have to change the way you make decisions. By Friday, you're already taking that new decision policy and channeling it up into Mars. And you're taking your new sense of inner faith and channeling it up to Mars. So the universe is saying, hey, Cancer, take your new decision policy, take your new inner faith, and go grab even more territory for your own inner child or personal dreams. And this might kind of express itself on Friday as a enough is enough, I want what I want kind of feeling from your inner child being revved up by that Mars. Now on top of that, Saturn has reached its deadline. Remember last weekend I said you have to decide how you're going to self-nurture, what your home family foundation will be, what will be the nest that lays the golden egg. Well, on this Friday, this is it, final decision. So whatever you've decided as far as your self-nurturing emotional policy is, you're going to treat yourself like gold, or you're going to ignore yourself still and chase after helping others. Is that what it's going to be? Whatever that decision is, it gets stuck on Friday. Plus, a major fear square comes to a head on Friday too. The moon conjuncting Jupiter is all of your feelings of inner faith or not, is squaring the sun in Virgo, which means you have literally been going back and forth with fear between faith and your mind. You'll say, oh, I think I can do it. And then your mind will go, no, I don't think I can. But then your faith will say, I feel we can. And then your mind will say, here's reasons why you can't. Back and forth and back and forth. This comes to a head on Friday. So you break the fear. You commit to the self-nurturing policy for the next 30 years. And you end up carving out more space for your joy. That is the big symphony of epiphanies for Friday. Then comes Saturday. Saturday we cloud up again and we get super spiritual, and you almost need this moment. So it's kind of like in the Jewish faith, you want to be spiritual on Saturday this week, and that's when you want to do your Sabbath or get into your higher self. Neptune is ruling the day, and what you're figuring out is just finding where your mind might be betraying you, where your thoughts may not be in alignment. Because remember, this transit, although all this other stuff is going on, is about your mind and being in alignment that way, being mindful of your ability to move forward. So you're cloudy and not so mindful on Saturday, but also Mercury itself is about to hit the sun. So our mind is about to click into gear. So there's this really, I think Saturday is like a day where you're just like, oh, so close, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. I think that's kind of part of what we're feeling. But then Sunday, it all wraps up perfectly in a Witecki bow. First of all, Saturn rules the day. So on Sunday, it all clicks into gear, and you decide. What are you deciding with Saturn? You're deciding what your new attitude will be. Basically, you must give your intellectual state of awareness what its intentions should be whenever it thinks. You got to give the thoughts, tell the mind how to think. So you decide and do that. Now the moon is still in Gemini, and it went from faithful to not so faithful back to faithful. So I think you're feeling faithful, which kind of goes with the decision. Either the faith leads to decision, or decision leads to more faith. But on top of that, the universe gives us another soul pyramid. This one in different elements. And it really epicenters around Saturn up there at 27 degrees. Remember I said you have to make a decision about your commitment to the nest. That was on Saturday. On Sunday, it moves forward. So this is where it gets exciting. People have been writing me and saying, why is anything happening? Why is my life changing? Quiet. It does on Monday. Because Saturn on Sunday moves forward, blazes ahead. It's not going to stop until it gets to Scorpio in October in Act 4. And on this day, on Sunday, you're taking this new dedication to a nest. You're taking Neptune in Pisces, which is your religion, your spirituality, and your faith in what you believe, and then your literal new faith inside of you that's growing like a child as Jupiter in the subconscious. And this faith in yourself, not just as faith in yourself, but by the end of the soul pyramid moves into Cancer, which means it comes into your ego. So putting this in layman's terms, in perfect poetry, you decide on Sunday, what it is that your mind is supposed to keep aligned as far as your attitude. And just by coincidence, on the same time, you start moving forward with the new nest, which means the new belief structure is moving forward, which means the new inner faith is moving forward. And as a ridiculous cherry on top, Mercury reaches the sun, which means our entire retrograde period is over, and which means on Monday when we start back, we actually start moving forward with new interesting stuff. So things are heating up, are they not? And my goodness, I am just parched trying to explain it to you. All right, so don't forget, you've got a moon goddess with moon reports for you on the website. You've got us live every day almost with office hours. You've got a creative seminar coming up, and you've got me again in 7 days. So hang in there, crab, and live, love, be.